This is part 2 on recess, and I'm just going to talk about some overview on the second half of these PowerPoints. So late adolescence is the most rough and tumble play. That's when rough and tumble play occur. Overt aggression can be characterized by actions that hurt others, such as hitting and kicking. Overt behaviors that occur for the purpose of obtaining an object or territory are referred to as instrumental aggression. Aggressive behaviors occur mostly in disputes over equipment. Girls tend to play more of a relational type of aggression than boys. Boys tend to display overt aggression. Bullying is an example of this overt aggression, and gender role behaviors tend to be socially constructed, and girls have difficulty influence boys, and that is why they avoid playing with boys in elementary school. So when we're looking at typical recess behavior, and we talked, the overview went through this, overt hurtful behaviors that occur repeatedly for the purpose of intimidating others is called bullying. We have a really big problem with bullying, and schools are held accountable for this for the purpose of obtaining a desired object, just like I stated earlier. Both bullying and instrumental aggression must not be allowed on the playground. Actions to be taken by the recess supervisor are usually specified by regulations. Bullying behaviors include name-calling, taunting, threatening, and several others. Typical recess behavior changes with age. Activity levels decrease as children get older. They choose to play outdoors less frequently when they get older. The range of activities engaged in narrow for boys as they get older and become interested primarily in organized games and sport. The range of activities engaged by girls remains constant as they get older. For both boys and girls, as they get older, their activities increase in organization. Inclusion issues: rejected children play in smaller groups. Rejected children spend less time in pro-social interactions. Children from different ethnic backgrounds play together when traditional minority groups are adequately represented in the school. Students with disabilities generally do not play with children who are not disabled, but teachers should encourage the integration of all children and ensure the playground design allows access for it to be accessible for all students. Involve students and parents in the process of establishing the rules, teach the rules, review the rules, and specify rules for interaction with peers, equipment, and spaces. Keep equipment safe and play areas safe. Obtain appropriate training. Separate children of different ages on the playground. Determine appropriate ratio, which recommends 1 teacher to 40 students. And remember that. Courts have found teachers' ratio as high as 1 to 90, but 1 to 40 both legally acceptable depending on the circumstances. It also depends on the number of children, size and layout of the playground, and the amount and kind of equipment. Children are free to select playmates and choose activities. That's what free play is. So if you're going to punish, don't take the free play as far as the physical activity away, but just limit who they can play with. That can be a part of their punishment. The freedom is important to develop physical and social skills, and it makes students responsible for their own self-control and self-discipline. Have activities for all children. Suggest activities. Show how to play with a new piece of equipment and integrate children with disabilities. Provide quality games and activities. Have plenty of equipment and have a variety of traditional and innovative equipment. If children cannot settle down upon returning to the classroom, this is one reason a lot of teachers do not want to do recess, because the children have a tendency to be a little wired up when they come back but use calming activities to bridge recess time and return to academic work. You can do stretching activities, relaxation, deep breathing, listen to music, and free time upon entering the classroom to self-prepare. Ask, what students' behavior would you need to see on the playground in order to say that the children were culturally tolerant? Once those students behave, identify, develop specific intervention, and it is not likely that cultural barriers will be broken down without intervention. Focus on diversity. Children's report of play enjoyment were related to the absence of inclusion. Degree to which children are included, play appears to be the most relevant predictor of long-term social competence. Foster playground friendship strategies identify in the text in box 12.4. If indoor recess can be held in the gym or a large multi-purpose room, allow the children to play in the space. If the space isn't available, hold recess in your classroom. There are some programs that have been very successful. You can look at these. Teaching pro-social skills, play fair, peer mediators, playground leaders, special friends, playground meetings. I'm sure you've heard of character counts and then system-wide positive behavior supports. And this is the end of Chapter 12, Recess, Part 2.